Hi everybody, it's Julie here, and I am back with a new book review. This time I have read Kristina Valdén, and it's a Swedish book, and it is called Drottningen av Tiveden och Henrik Engelskman. So, roughly translated, it is Queen of Tiveden, which is a place in Sweden, and Henry the Englishman. And the book is quite special, I have to say. I was very intrigued when I saw it. It was on sale at the local bookstore. And the book is about a woman. Her name is Konstantina. And the book starts when she is about 90, almost. And she is lying in bed and sort of a bit confused, and she's about to die. And I think the book is written in the way where I feel like if you're an old woman getting a bit confused before you're going to die, these are maybe the thoughts that you would have. Um, so it's a quite a fun way to read a book, but it's quite confusing too. I should continue reading what it's about. Well, it's about Konstantina, and she is quite a special person because her father is Erik the 14th, which was a king in Sweden. I think 1560, somewhere around. Maybe I can look it up. Anyway, yeah, 1590, somewhere around that. For those who don't know, Erik den 14th, he made a proposal to Queen Elizabeth of England. He was turned down. He had quite a quiet life. He married this girl, Konstantina, her sort of nurse or child nanny, I don't know what you call it, and he also got a bit mad. So he comes from the family Vasa, which is like the founding, like, royal family in Sweden, and they are all quite a bit mad. But anyway, so it's about his daughter, and she is not an official. Well, she is an official, but she is not a legitimate. So it's a difference. Uh, so she is lying for death, and she's lying in a big bed, and you can sort of, the dialogues in the books are her talking to herself, but she imagines that her father, Erik den 14th, and also her husband, Henry the Englishman, which also tells a few of the stories in the book, that they are in the bed with her and she's talking. And I really like the concept. I really like that it's a bit unique and special, but the dialogues are sometimes, or the monologues really, are a bit confused sometimes, because she is telling something and then she is imagining what she is telling upsets her, like her father, and she is like telling him to be quiet or to calm down, and then she continues on telling. But it's a fun thing, and I really like the concept of it, but it gets a bit muddled and a bit confusing, and sometimes it's a bit annoying to read it. But there are proper, quote unquote, proper chapters in the book where she is telling about events, and where Henry the Englishman is telling events too. So a lot of this time period that they are telling about is actually after Erik den 14th has died, when Viola, when it's actually her uncle, Hertig Karl. So I suppose that would be like the Duke Charles, maybe. I'm sorry if I'm just translating here. When he is sort of in control of Sweden. So, and Erik the Englishman is working for him. So, they are based on real persons. Konstantina and Henry, Erik den 14th, Charles the Duke, I suppose. They're all real persons, and I think that is what I like, that you can feel like this could have been the real story. Obviously, we don't know, because nobody told or nobody wrote down the stories of people like Constantina, or Henry for that matter. So they have found the notebook of Henry the Englishman, he had a notebook where he sketched and painted watercolors, and they have found that. But a lot of the stories are sort of made up. We don't know because we don't really know what happened, do we? But I really like these kind of books where I like history books, and I like them written in a way where you can sort of feel them as real people. So yeah, I like it, but it was a bit difficult to sort of get around the whole talking to yourself, but you're really talking to your dad, father's ghost. I mean, yeah, but I think it's. I mean, I like this that we don't just. So the author is really. She is a very distant. Constantina is her very, very distant grandmother, I would suppose you could say, very closely, or very far away. So that is why she wrote the book about Constantina. And I think it's fun. I mean, obviously, they have like hooks throughout the books that they can sort of hang the events on, so you get a bit more like this happened, and then they have put in stuff to make it like a book. But to be quite honest, I have read quite a lot of history books where they have done this, mixed history with fantasy, really. And quite honestly, I don't really mind. If I'm picking up this book, I'm sort of almost expecting it, and there's nothing to say that it didn't happen. So, and I much rather read a book where there's a bit of fantasy in it, where you can sort of get a feel for the person and the life that they had, because you can't get that when you're just looking through the archives and you just see dates. But yeah, so I think that was a long rambling. But yeah, så that is my thoughts about Drottningen av Tiveden och Henrik Engelskman av Kristina Valdén. So yeah, when I have been yapping on about this book, I have also made a spread, and here it is. So also the inspiration here is that in the bed when they're lying and talking about what they remember throughout their lives, they're laying underneath the coronation robe of Erik den XIV, which is sort of a brownish purplish color with gold crown embroidered on top of it. So that was sort of the inspiration for the cover, or for the page. And then I just wrote down on a bit of a tag. And yeah, so that is about it. If you're interested in book, or if you even have read it, I would love to know what you think about it. If you were as confused as I was. No, but I mean, it's a good book. It is a bit confusing at times, but I still really enjoyed the thought behind it, writing like from like inside somebody's head. Okay, I'm going to stop. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you soon.